Good day everyone. I am Nikki Jim Baliling, BSA Agronomy from section BSA 3H. My assigned report is about rice taxonomy and type of rice. But before I will proceed about the content of this report, please allow me to read my introduction. So, rice taxonomy is a botanical classification of rice. While the type of rice are the distinct characteristic of crop in different varieties. These two terms drive important role in the field of agricultural productivity because taxonomy aims to classify the living organism into specific groups which enhance our knowledge and understanding in the field of agriculture, especially in cereal production. To have a better understanding in rice classification, and while the type of rice provide an idea and the specific distinct characteristic of the rice and created important rule by knowing deeply the type of rice because rice is the most important human food crop on the world that directly feeding more than any other crops. To furthermore understand about this topic, I gather some information that define the rice. And what is rice? So I gathered some information and definition, specific definition of rice. Rice is the seed of the grass species of Rhiza glaberrima or Rhiza sativa, an edible starchy cereal green and grass plant family Poaceae. Rice is an annual grass belong to the genus Oryza. Why rice is important? And also I gathered some information that signify the importance of rice. Rice is one of the most important crops in the world. More than 3.5 billion people consider rice as their staple crop, and many people around the world consume rice as their every meal. On the other hand, rice is the most important human food crop in the world, directly feeding more people than any other crop. In the year 2012, nearly half the world population, more than 3.3 billion of the people relied on the rice every day. It is also a staple crop food food across Asian people, where around half of the world poorest people live in is becoming increasingly important in Africa and Latin America. And the last one, rice has also fed more people over a longer time than has any other crop. It is spectacularly diverse both in the way it is grown and how it used by humans. And let's proceed to the taxonomy. Also, I gathered some information that define taxonomy. Taxonomy is a broad science of classification, but more strictly the classification of living and extinct organisms. It is a practice of identifying different organisms, classifying them into the categories, and naming them. All organisms, both living and extinct, are classified into distinct groups with other similar organisms and given specific name. The classification of organisms has various hierarchical categories. Categories gradually shift from being very broad, including many different organisms, to every specific and identifying single species. So pasabot ani the taxonomy nag-define sa specific classification sa atong organism na naay matag usa ka organism is classify into specific group. And let's define the taxonomy further. So, this one, taxonomic categories. There are 8 distinct taxonomic categories. And there are the kingdoms, subkingdoms, per division, division, class, subclass, order, family, genus, and species. So, kaning 8 kabuok, muna siya nag-classify sa tong organism. Patag isa is sa ilaha, importante kayo. Kay further ani, sa mga categories ani, mas masabtan na to og deeply study to understand our main topic about rice. So, data is about our main topic, so rice taxonomy. And please allow me to read the taxonomy of rice or rice taxonomy. Rice is belong to the kingdom Plantae or plant subkingdom Tracheobionta or vascular plant. Superdivision, Spermatophyta or seed plants. Division, Mynophyta or flowering plants. Class, Liliopsida or Monocotyledons. Subclass, Comelenidae. Order, Cyperalis or Cyperals. Family, Poaceae or a grass family. Genus, Oryza L, and specific in rice. Species, Oryza sativa L, also rice. That one. And let's proceed to the type of rice based on geographic distribution. Allow me to read. There are more than 40,000 varieties of rice. Most varieties came from the most common rice species, Oryza sativa. So, klaro naman diri nga most varieties daw common in the rice species Oryza sativa. So, mo nang sa Asian countries Oryza sativa, which originate from the Asia. This species of rice was domesticated twice and therefore split into three cultivars or breeds. So, here are the three cultivars or breed of the rice. First one is Japonica. Japonica rice or originated in China. The second is Indica rice originated in Southern Asia. 3. Japonica rice originated in Indonesia. So that one are the three cultivars of rice breeds. Type of rice according to its characteristic. So ang atong rice, kakuan niya pa siya characteristic. There are four main categories of the characteristic of the rice. So advanced A, the grain length and shape, stickiness and texture, C, color, and D, translucence, and A, the aroma. So balik ta sa first. So grain length and shape. Ang grain length shape na siya long, characteristic sa atong rice na siya long, short, and medium grain. The long characteristic the long varieties came from the indica cultivar and feature long cylindrical shape and a dry and fluffy texture when cooked. And the short, these varieties usually came from the Japonica cultivar and often have oval grains and sticky texture when cooked. And medium, these are type either indica varieties of indica medium hybrid with an indica dominant genome. These varieties usually adhered most closely to long grain rice characteristic. So kasagaran na ni na rice, makita nato ni siya sa kanang mga rice nga gikan sa laing nasod. Kung familiar mo kung nakapalit man mo ani. Mo siya ang long, kabante mo ng tag-asya, tapos katong short brag may butang tanga katong mga half na bugas, tapos ang medium katong sakto-sakto lang siya. And the B, stickiness and texture. So ang rice yapon ga-characteristic yapon siya sa stickiness kung unsa siya kanang pilit og sa iyang texture. There are two components of starch, amylose and amylopectin. Stickiness in rice determined by the starch content of the grain. Cultivars of rice that are high in amylose. Usually long grain. So ang long grain rice ni nato high di siya sa amylose. Do not break down during cooking and return their shape. On the other hand, rice varieties with high amylopectin content usually short grain. So ang kanang dili kitag-as nato ng mga about silang kernel, mo din natong amylopectin content high na sila usually hard break down and become sticky or mostly when cooked. Kabantay mo din na din pag maglutoon nato na siya, medyo pilit siya. Tapos C, color. There are two things that affect the color of rice. The fermentation, particular to the species of rice, and the processing the rice undergoes. So, color have three specific division. And that First is the brown rice. After rice is harvested, the next step in the process is to remove the outer chaff or husk of the rice. When rice huller, unless the rice has a unique pigmentation, the result in the brown rice which is high in thiamine and other nutrients. So muna makabantay ta na ay brown rice and compare po na po tayo white rice and red, black or purple rice. And the white rice is the desired hulled rice can undergo removal of grain. The inner part of the husk and the germ, this turn brown rice into white rice with cook more quickly and store for longer than brown rice, loses some nutrients in the process. Red, black or purple rice. Red, black or purple rice is the rice with a red or dark purple brand. The colorful brand is the result of additional pigmentation in the plant, as with brown rice. If the rice were to have the brand completely removed, it would become with white rice. However, these rice varieties are usually prized for their color and nutritional value. So brands are usually only semi-milled or unmilled. So, mo ni siya ang about sa color sa rice na tay brown rice, white rice, and red black rice. Gamater po ni siya sa nutrients nga mahatag sa rice. The more color, the more nutrients supplied by rice. D. Translucent. In addition to color, translucent is another distinctive characteristic of rice grain. Within one species of rice, there may be a wide variation in translucent of the grain. However, some cultivars are more likely to produce translucent kernels, while others usually manifest as chalky, cloudy, or opaque grains. In general, opaque or chalky grains are softer, denser, and heavier than translucent grain. They also cook more quickly than translucent rice and varieties. And lastly, the aroma. Aromatic rice varietal are medium or long grain type of rice that have nutty aroma or flavor. They are generally member of the indica cultivar. Popular example include bastami and jasmine rice. So bastami and jasmine rice, as I remember, mo ni siya katong mga puti nga rice that nutty aroma stems from the same aroma compound that is present in white bread. So mo siya puti. There are many also be a floral aromas present in the some rice varieties such as ambe moha rice, especially after cooking. So that one. So additional information about this topic is type of rice, length, and shape. So rice is often characterized as three varieties. So ang rice na characterized in three varieties. Nasa natin long green, medium green, or short green rice if makabantay mo. These varieties refer to the length and shape of the grain. Simply speaking, long grain rice will have a longer cylindrical shape, where a short grain rice will be a shorter and wider. Cylindrical shape mo ni siya sa kanang rice na tong isa ka butil na tong rice kung mabantayan ninyo tag-Asia o cylindrical shape. So, mo ni ang example sa long grain rice. As you can see the picture, the rice is long or long grain rice. This rice has long cylinder kernel grains that are at least 4 to 5 times as long as they are wide. Cooked grains are separate length and fluffy. So kung lutoan naman siya, di siya ningon nga pilit, but fluffy, humok. So medium grain brown rice. So sa makita ninyo, mas gamay siya sa long grain. And the definition is rice has a shorter, wider kernel, 2 to 3 times longer than its wide than long grain rice. So taas ni siya og wide kumpara sa katong long grain. Bagbusok siya, busok. Cooked grains are more moist and tender and have a greater tendency to cling together than long grain. Last one, short grain rice. So, kita ninyo, gagmayon siya na rice. Kung baga, bura siya pare-pare kung burag hap-hap. Rice is a short pump, also round kernel. Coke grains are soft and cling together. Concluding statement. Please allow me to read my concluding statement. So, rice is a unique because it can grow in wheat with a dry environment that other crop cannot survive in such both environment. Rice are abundant across Asia. The domestication of rice rank as one of the most important development in history and in the field of agricultural productivity. And now thousands of rice varieties are cultivated on every continent except Antarctica. Thank you and God bless.